Imagine looking up at a dark sky raining gray water for 2 million years. Boiling oceans, drowning forests, and massive ancient continents cracking apart under violent, endless storms. This is not a science fiction movie about the tragic end of our world. It was our actual planet Earth during the terrifying Carnian Pluvial episode disaster. A brutal climate catastrophe completely reshaped life and brought deadly dinosaurs to absolute power. Have you ever wondered what happens when the Earth forgets how to stop crying? Before the eternal storms, our Earth was a ruthless, burning desert of red sand. The massive supercontinent Pangaea stretched endlessly across the globe without a single green leaf. Strange primitive reptiles dragged their heavy bodies across cracked Earth looking for shallow pools. Suddenly, the ground split open wide, violently unleashing the greatest volcanic eruption in history. Millions of cubic miles of glowing lava exploded into the fragile ancient atmosphere. Thick black smoke blocked out the bright sun, plunging the dying world into darkness. Massive amounts of carbon dioxide rapidly turned the atmosphere into a deadly giant greenhouse. Oceans began to boil furiously as global temperatures violently skyrocketed to unimaginable extreme levels. Water rapidly evaporated from the overheated seas, quickly building massive, dark storm clouds above. The dry sky cracked open with blinding lightning, signaling the start of total destruction. The first heavy raindrops hit the scorching sand, hissing like angry ancient snakes. This was not normal water. It was highly corrosive acid falling from the heavens. Toxic rain began to violently dissolve the rocks, poisoning every remaining ancient water source. Giant primitive beasts looked up in absolute horror as the sky crashed down around them. Rivers of dark mud aggressively wiped out entire valleys of struggling ancient plant life. You might think constant rain would eventually cool down the burning hot planet surface. But the heavy carbon blanket aggressively trapped the intense heat, creating a giant sauna. Huge ancient trees collapsed under the heavy weight of endless pouring acid rainstorms. Panic spread wildly among strange creatures as floodwaters rapidly destroyed their only homes. Some animals desperately climbed high mountains, only to face violent, deadly lightning strikes above. For hundreds of thousands of years, the sun never showed its warm face again. The endless roaring thunder became the only terrifying soundtrack of this drowned ancient world. Imagine living your entire long life without ever seeing a single patch of blue sky. Generations of strange creatures were born and died completely in the dark, pouring rain. The massive supercontinent transformed from a dry desert into a massive, deadly global swamp. Thick green algae violently choked the oceans, killing nearly all ancient marine life forms. Oxygen levels dropped dangerously low, making every single breath a desperate struggle for survival. But nature is incredibly resilient, and chaotic destruction always forces life to quickly adapt. While heavy reptiles drowned in mud, a new agile predator quietly learned to swim. Small, fast creatures with longer legs began to successfully navigate the flooded nightmare world. These quick survivors were the direct ancestors of the most famous monsters in history. Yes, the endless dark rainstorms directly gave birth to the mighty dinosaur empire. Before the Great Flood, early dinosaurs were just small, terrified prey hiding in shadows. Now, the flooded apocalyptic world became their perfect, newly expanded hunting ground for survival. Fast bipedal dinosaurs easily chased slow, trapped reptiles through the deep, sticky brown mud. Their hollow bones made them incredibly light, preventing them from sinking into the swamps. Massive teeth tore through soft flesh as blood mixed quickly with the falling rain. As plant life died, completely new species of ferns aggressively took over the land. These new resilient plants thrived perfectly in the endless, dark, and damp global conditions. The heavy rain washed countless massive rocks directly into the churning, angry dark oceans. This massive chemical runoff permanently changed the delicate chemistry of the entire global sea. But what goes up must eventually come crashing down to the dying earth below. The raging volcanoes finally began to quiet down after millions of years of destruction. The thick carbon dioxide slowly dissolved into the massive, endless global ocean water system. Can you imagine the exact moment the very first ray of sunlight finally broke through? Golden light violently pierced the dark clouds, illuminating a completely unrecognizable, newly transformed world. The rain finally stopped, leaving behind a massive, steaming, and vibrant green jungle paradise. The old giant reptiles were completely gone, replaced by fast, aggressive, and smart dinosaurs. The world was now fully dominated by these incredible, highly adaptable, giant scaly beasts. Giant long-necked dinosaurs quickly evolved to reach the massive new canopy of lush forests. Sharp-toothed predators grew larger and faster to effectively hunt this newly abundant food source. The terrifying 2-million-year rainstorm completely rewrote the complex biological rules of our entire planet. Without this massive climate disaster, humanity might have never eventually evolved on this Earth. The destruction wiped the slate completely clean, allowing complex new evolutionary paths to begin. Deep underground, fossil records secretly captured this incredibly violent and rapid ecological shift perfectly. Scientists digging in ancient rock layers noticed a sudden, shocking change in global fossils. Below the red rock line, only dry desert footprints were carefully preserved in stone. Above that line, countless dinosaur tracks suddenly appeared in ancient, hardened swamp mud layers. This geological boundary proves how quickly life violently adapted to the new watery world. Imagine holding a rock that was aggressively washed by acid rain millions of years ago. That simple stone holds the dark secrets of our planet's most extreme weather event. The Wrangellia volcanic eruptions were so massive they literally cracked the Earth's crust open. Glowing rivers of fire met endless falling water, creating massive clouds of white steam. The sound of explosions and endless thunder would have completely deafened any living creature. Small mammals, our ancient ancestors, hid deeply terrified inside dark, damp underground muddy caves. They survived by eating tiny insects that swarmed heavily in the humid, dark air. Every single day was a brutal battle against drowning, starvation, and new giant predators. The global sea level rose violently, swallowing entire ancient coastlines and destroying fragile habitats. Coral reefs completely died out, leaving empty underwater ghost towns in the acidic oceans. But new forms of marine reptiles quickly evolved to rule these deep, dark waters. Giant ichthyosaurs gracefully hunted completely in the newly formed deep and dangerous global seas. Nature always finds a brilliant way to bounce back from even total global annihilation. When the skies finally cleared, the Earth's temperature slowly began to stabilize and cool. The supercontinent Pangaea was now completely covered in massive, endless, lush tropical green forests. Huge rivers violently carved new, deep paths across the newly transformed, vibrant green landscape. The incredible diversity of life exploded wildly in this fresh, rich, and humid environment. Dinosaurs quickly spread across every single corner of the massive, ancient, interconnected supercontinent. This dramatic era perfectly set the stage for their incredible reign over our planet. They would aggressively dominate the Earth for another 150 million years, all because the heavy sky simply refused to stop crying for 2 million years. Today, we are slowly adding dangerous, massive amounts of carbon back into our atmosphere. Are we foolishly repeating the exact same deadly cycle that caused the endless storms? Our modern oceans are rapidly warming up, just like they did during that nightmare. Extreme weather events are slowly becoming our terrifying new normal across the entire globe. Will our modern skies eventually open up and wash all of our cities away? The ancient rocks desperately whisper a dark warning we must carefully choose to hear. We must quickly learn from the deep past before history violently repeats itself again. Dinosaurs survived the rain, but they eventually died from a massive fiery asteroid strike. We have the rare intelligence to actively prevent our own tragic global climate extinction. Imagine watching the massive polar ice caps rapidly melting into the rising dark oceans. Coastal cities drowning under heavy waves, mirroring the ancient flooded swamps of the Triassic. The Carnian Pluvial event was totally natural, but our current crisis is entirely human-made. We hold the immense power to stop the eternal storms before they even begin. It requires massive global action to significantly reduce our daily deadly carbon gas emissions. Solar panels and massive wind turbines must quickly replace old burning fossil fuel plants. We need to rapidly plant billions of strong trees to capture the dangerous carbon. The ancient dinosaurs simply adapted, but we must use advanced technology to actively survive. Let's look closely at the stunning beauty of our current fragile blue planet Earth. Crystal clear skies and calm blue oceans are a rare, delicate, and precious gift. We cannot blindly allow thick black smoke to violently steal our bright sunshine again. The history of Earth is aggressively written in blood, fire, water, and dark stone. Every massive extinction event violently forces the world to completely reinvent its biological systems. The Great Dying wiped out most life right before the massive, endless rain began. Then the Carnian rains aggressively washed away the weak to build a stronger empire. Evolution is a brutally cruel but incredibly effective engine for creating perfect living machines. Dinosaurs were the ultimate biological result of millions of years of intense environmental stress. Their sharp claws and massive jaws were perfectly forged in the endless acid rain. Even the majestic feathered birds outside your window share this incredible, ancient dark history. They carry the highly resilient DNA of those tough creatures that survived the floods. When you drink a glass of water, think about its incredibly long, ancient journey. Some of those exact water molecules heavily rained down on the first early dinosaurs. Water is completely eternal. It continuously shapes and violently destroys entire massive ancient continents. The endless 2-million-year storm is deeply etched into the genetic memory of our world. It beautifully reminds us how tiny we truly are against the massive forces of nature. Volcanoes hold the absolute power to rapidly alter the delicate chemistry of the atmosphere. A single massive eruption today could violently change our global climate for many decades. The Earth is a sleeping giant that occasionally wakes up to completely destroy everything. We live peacefully on a very thin crust floating aggressively over boiling liquid rock. The delicate balance of our ecosystem is far more fragile than we can imagine. If the heavy rains return today, human civilization would quickly collapse in total chaos. Massive concrete buildings would aggressively crumble under the weight of endless corrosive acid storms. Highways would violently transform into deep raging rivers filled with toxic, dark, muddy water. We must strongly protect our planet to prevent this dark apocalyptic vision from returning. Studying deep ancient history helps us accurately predict and prepare for our future challenges. The Carnian Pluvial episode is a perfect, dramatic example of extreme global climate shift. It brutally teaches us that severe climate change is incredibly dangerous and totally unstoppable. Once the delicate tipping point is crossed, the Earth violently spirals out of control. We are currently playing a highly dangerous game with our only fragile global home. Let the ancient flooded fossils serve as a loud, desperate warning to modern humanity. Thank you for deeply exploring this terrifying ancient history journey with us right now. Did you truly know about this massive, endless rainstorm before watching this detailed video? Leave a quick comment below about which ancient monster you would love to see. If this incredible ancient story blew your mind, aggressively smash that big like button. Share this thrilling video with curious friends who deeply love learning about ancient dinosaurs. Make sure to quickly subscribe and gently tap the bell icon for more adventures. Next week, we will aggressively uncover another terrifying dark secret of our ancient oceans. You absolutely do not want to miss the shocking truth about giant prehistoric sharks. Our planet holds countless incredible dark mysteries just quietly waiting to be completely uncovered. Every single fossil tells a highly dramatic story of brutal survival and violent extinction. Stay deeply curious and always keep questioning the incredible hidden history beneath your feet. Follow our social media pages for daily amazing facts about our beautifully terrifying Earth. Together, we can deeply uncover the forgotten dark secrets of our ancient distant past. Until our next exciting adventure, always remember to respect the immense power of nature. Stay incredibly safe, keep exploring, and we will definitely see you in the next video.